What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the channel and welcome to a new video. I want to talk a little bit more about the lockdown because this is crucial. People keep asking me, why do you keep talking about this, bro? Why do you keep talking about it? Well, because we're all swimming in this. And what started as a 2-week lockdown has become about an 8th-month lockdown, and it's getting tighter. So I hope that you're lighting candles on behalf of the world going back to a more normal state. I've been talking about this for a very long time, the importance of you using your mind and your heart and your energy towards things that actually matter instead of just giving your energy over to the matrix in the form of mindless entertainment and garbage food and heathenry. I hope that you have realized the power of yourself, your energy body, your mind, your intentions, your heart, your aspirations, your desires, your goals, all of these things that are within you are very unique, one-of-a-kind qualities. And so many systems have been chewed up by the matrix where they've forgotten all of their inherent beauty, their qualities, and they think that they're powerless. You see, a large reason why so many people believe that they're powerless is because they don't actually believe in themselves. And when you actually do believe in yourself, when you do realize your own worth and your beauty, suddenly you tap into a hitherto unnoticed reservoir of intense power that you can now channel and siphon through you to actually fuel your creativity, your creative endeavors. We are very creative individuals, ladies and gentlemen. We are like the fingers of God. We are designed to build things, to invent, to push things in new directions, and to discover new things, to make breakthroughs, to learn from nature. But we're in this box that the Matrix has put us in. And the Matrix, to a large extent, you know how it controls you? By trapping you in your own mind, ladies and gentlemen. That is how the Matrix hijacks your freedom. And what is true freedom? True freedom is clarity. When you don't have a bunch of opposing opinions in your head about everything, you're living in your head. So when you walk down the street and you see people, you wonder, oh, what do they think of me? Or, you know, I've got to fit in, I've got to do this, I've got to do that. Or it's just like we have so much stuff in our minds constantly on a day-to-day basis. And we've made this way of living so normal that we don't even notice how polluted our minds are, how we're literally living in our heads. You see, again, true freedom is clarity of thought, thoughtlessness. And that's a video for an entire video that we can go off. I can make an hour video about why it's important to not harbor a ton of thoughts, ladies and gentlemen. But I'm not going to do that right now. I will, however, say that the motionlessness exercises that I talk about and the thoughtlessness exercises, these are two very important exercises that you can begin to implement so that you can start to freeze your overactive mind, which I like to call the Archon. And in freezing your overactive mind and emotional field, you can start to notice that you have an entire library of what I call foreign installations that have been installed into your mind that you have learned to identify with. You've literally learned to identify with the contents of your mind that aren't even yours. This is the Archon's influence, ladies and gentlemen. So you learn to develop thoughts that you learn to constantly identify with, as well as emotions. And on top of that, ladies and gentlemen, and you get those simply by interacting with this fake, disgusting fucking world that we live in. But on top of you just learning to how would I explain it? You learn to think in a very unhealthy way simply by living here in this matrix, by going through the school system, by being exposed to the peer pressure, all of the symbolism on the television, all of this stuff that makes you doubt yourself. You learn to think about yourself in a very suboptimal way that doesn't produce growth. And on top of that, ladies and gentlemen, we have the Archon that is constantly spooling thoughts into your consciousness, which you learn to misidentify as them being your own thoughts. So you actually take on the evil one's thoughts and integrate them into your core. This is largely how the ego is developed, also known as the double. I don't have time to get into this. I've talked about this extensively in previous videos. Please go watch those if you're interested. But freezing your mind, ladies and gentlemen, learning to calm your mind, learning how to get rid of the constant thoughts. That is how you start to break free from the grasp of the Matrix. The Matrix keeps you controlled by keeping you in your head. And it keeps you there in tandem with you having a completely malnourished body. Magnesium deficient, iodine deficient, zinc deficient, just all of it, excuse me. Iodine, magnesium, selenium, zinc, all of these things, ladies and gentlemen, contribute to your already polluted mind becoming that much more, it's like concrete setting. When you have a mind filled full of nonsense and you have a body that's connected to your mind, the mind is the software, the body is the hardware, but when your body is polluted, it's like everything just is like concrete drying. Your programming is drying, it's becoming hardened. Nourishing your body and doing the motionlessness exercises and the thoughtlessness exercises, it's like taking a jackhammer to the solidified parts of your system, of your body, of your mind. We've got to re-nourish our hardware, and we've got to delete installed programs that no longer serve a benefit to our well-being. I cannot stress this enough. And some people may think that I sound crazy. Some people may, whatever. I don't give a damn. I have done countless hours of research and work on myself, ladies and gentlemen, to try to get rid of the Archon's foreign installations, and installations that I created on my own simply by navigating through this matrix and learning to not necessarily hate myself, but doubt myself. What does Morpheus say in the Matrix? You have to get rid of all doubt, fear, and disbelief. This is largely how they keep us from accessing our divine power, ladies and gentlemen. They've given you limitations that you've turned into belief systems. Think about it this way. Have you ever done something where you weren't thinking? Like, for instance, have you ever picked up a baseball or a basketball and just somehow, some way entered into a state of just thoughtlessness and shot the ball? It goes in every single time. I've done this with golf clubs as well. There's this weird state of mind that you can enter into where your thoughts are empty, and because of that, what you do, it always produces the right result. But they've got you. I'm not going to get into how they've put limits on you. This is what a lot of the early mind control was about, ladies and gentlemen, with the movies, the entertainment, always comparing you to something else. For instance, there's a huge attack on women where they put all of these like digitally enhanced pictures of what are considered quote unquote beautiful women on free signs on the freeway and whatnot. And you may not notice it, but you drive by that and you compare yourself to that. And what, they plaster it around the matrix as if, oh, this is the ideal for women. And are you up to par? Are you fulfilling your deeds as a woman? Do you look like this? And they do it with men as well. Oh, do you have a six-pack? Do you have this? Are you as beautiful as this Vogue model or this individual that we've digitally enhanced and thrown in front of you to look at? It's just disgusting, all this. And that is symbolism, ladies and gentlemen, whether you are aware of that or not. It may be a picture of a person, but it's symbolism because it represents a quote-unquote matrix ideal that you now need to compare yourself to and try to live up to, because you have to try to do this to be successful, or you have to try to be that to be successful, and all this nonsense bullshit that they shoved down your goddamn throat since day one. And no, Tommy didn't get straight A's. Tommy, he might need to go see the psychiatrist and get some Ritalin or this, that, and the other. I mean, how many ways to Sunday can you try to devalidate your children? Or to make them feel inadequate? How many ways do you make yourself feel inadequate is a great question to ask yourself. I'm just sick and tired of this shit, ladies and gentlemen. I am sick and tired of this fake, disgusting world where I am more real than the world around me, which is just a bunch of fake bullshit. I've been saying for years that when you take care of yourself, when you get your sleep regimen dialed in, when you get the potions back into your system, when you actually start giving a shit about yourself long enough to actually do what it takes to cleanse yourself of all the nonsense, you start to become more real than the goddamn world around you. And that's what the Matrix fears, ladies and gentlemen. The Matrix fears people who have purged it out of themselves. Because when you do purge the matrix out of you, you realize that it is nothing more than a feeble attempt to control the masses and turn them into energy slaves for the Archon and all the vampires, the Rothschild families, the Carnegies, and all these disgusting royal families, these vampires that control the world. You see, the vampires are pathetic creatures. The quote-unquote blood vampires. I'm not talking about, human beings are vampires too, in an essence, because we require energy from the world around. We require energy from the world around us. I'm not talking about that type of vampire. I'm talking about the stereotypical vampires who feed on people and keep them enslaved, you name it. That's what all these royal families and all this disgusting, disgusting New World Order scum are, ladies and gentlemen. They're vampires. They feed on our energy. They feed on our energy. They feed on our fear. But the Matrix fears people who have purged the Matrix from their system. Now, the only way to truly wake up from the Matrix, in my opinion, is to have the Kundalini awaken your meridian systems, to be unplugged from the nonsense, to have the Christ consciousness move through your system and cleanse all of your bullshit and move your assemblage point back to where it's supposed to be. So there's plenty of symbolism in the Matrix in the movie The Matrix, that Kundalini is the way out. I mean, go watch the part where Neo is unplugged from the pod. Go watch the part where they use all of the acupuncture on him to get his body to, the energy flow to move through him again. I could go on for hours about the Matrix film. It's a movie about gnosis. In the Matrix, the people are plugged into a system where they believe that they're something that they're not. And unknown to the people, there's massive amounts of potential for them to evolve. Morpheus comes along and helps Neo unplug so that he can awaken those lost potentials that the Matrix has stolen from him. And what does the Matrix do? When he becomes conscious, it fears him. It sends the agents after him. Because when you become truly awakened, ladies and gentlemen, when you actually awaken the Jing inside of your system, when you awaken the kidneys and the cerebral spinal system, when you get the glandular systems actually working again, you become a divine war weapon against this disgusting scum Matrix that wants to keep us all enslaved, ladies and gentlemen. Why do you think they spend billions upon billions, trillions, as a matter of fact, to keep us dumbed down and stupid? It's because they know that when we awaken the Kundalini, when we get the full power of our body-mind complex back in harmony, their continuity is drastically hindered and threatened, because we become the solar conquering children of Mars. Yes, Sun and Mars, when the Kundalini awakens. And what do vampires hate? They hate the sun. I'm speaking metaphorically, ladies and gentlemen. We exist to transmute the world. And what's the one thing in our way right now, ladies and gentlemen? Well, there's a handful of things. Our own stupidity, number one. Our own inability to see how we're wronging ourselves and putting ourselves, literally walking off cliffs, metaphorically speaking, walking right into bear traps. Oh, there's a bear trap. Oh, fuck, I hurt myself. You have the ability to look around you, to use your senses, to gauge what's right and wrong. Wake the fuck up. But on top of that, what else do we have working against us? The disgusting, parasitic New World Order, who seeks to enslave us so that they can use us and then gear up for what appears to be a very potential, or an extermination, ladies and gentlemen. Look at the Georgia Guidestones. Look at Operation Lockstep. Look at what's going on right now with this whole lockdown. So anyways, I'm going to wrap this one up. I wanted to talk about a few other things in this video, ladies and gentlemen, but let's just wrap this up by saying, get your sleep dialed in, get your light dialed in, and get your mind right. Get your mind right. Peace be with you. I wanted to personally thank you for watching my videos and contributing to the growth of my channel. I could not do this without you, and your interest in my content is truly what motivates me and fuels my passion for making these videos and spreading my message. So thank you from the bottom of my heart. I wanted to remind you that this channel is a free educational tool that is listener supported, and if you would like to donate to my channel and donate to my cause, help make my life a little bit easier and help keep the lights on around here, you can do so by checking out the links in the description box below. There's a handful of not only ways to donate to my channel, but I also have links to different websites and different videos of mine, as well as my Amazon store, where you can check out a plethora of different health-related products that I use and recommend. So once again, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for your continued interest in my message, and until next time, peace be with you all.